Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And this evening, we are discussing the jobs crisis facing Canadian young people. And Conservatives have been sounding the alarm about this jobs crisis really ever since the last election and, in fact, in many ways before that. But the crisis has continued to get worse. Over the last 3 years since we came out of the pandemic, unemployment numbers have continued to go up, especially for young people. So it's not just something that's happened in recent months, but it's something that has continued in recent months, continued to get worse. This is, in fact, now we can say, I think, a metastasizing crisis that affects not only the present but the future, as young people miss out on the critical skills and points of development that come with those first jobs. Right now, we are approaching 500,000 unemployed young people between the ages of 15 and 24, over 460,000 currently unemployed, and getting closer and closer to 15% unemployment for young people. And this is a serious problem. It responds to clear policy failures from the government, failures on the economy, failures on immigration, failures on training, and failures in a number of other areas. We've been hearing how the cost of living crisis, how the price of groceries and the price of housing are contributing to unemployment because it makes it harder and harder for employers to be able to afford a living wage when what is required to live in Canada is in fact much more than it used to be because of the increase in the cost of things. But in response to these events, Conservatives have put forward the Conservative Youth Jobs Plan, which highlights our response, what we are constructively proposing to the government and suggesting they implement as part of the upcoming budget. Our plan, our proposal to unleash the economy, fix immigration, fix training, and build homes where jobs are. This is a plan with detailed policy behind it that we've put to the government and encourage them, again in the constructive spirit that Canadians expect of us, encourage them to implement. Unfortunately, we have not seen any jobs plan from this government. In fact, they've taken to denigrating our constructive proposals rather than seriously engaging with them. And this is unfortunate. We presented these ideas in a constructive spirit. The government is denigrating our ideas and failing to present any proposals of their own. The best they can do is to point to programs that have existed in this country since the 1990s as if there's something new. They talk about the continuation of programs that have existed from the 1990s, clearly not meeting the present moment in terms of the metastasizing youth jobs crisis. And then we've had announcements to replicate existing programs, for instance, to on top of the existing credential recognition fund, to create another separate credential recognition fund without really contending with the fact that their existing programs are not working to meet this crisis that we have. So I think Canadians are very disappointed by the performance of the government on this file. They would have liked to see the government kind of come constructively to engage with the ideas we've put forward as an opposition. We have put forward a detailed Conservative youth jobs plan that's about unleashing the economy, fixing immigration, fixing training, and building homes where the jobs are. And on each of those points, we've articulated a policy. And I hope that we will see the government stop denigrating good ideas and recognize how their policies have contributed to the problems we face right now, and instead that they will listen to our ideas in a constructive spirit and consider implementing some of them as part of a plan that they could put forward in the budget, building on what we proposed. Will they do that?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan, for his question. I agree with him that students need jobs to pay for their education and gain vital experience and skills. Young Canadians are the workforce of the future. Anything we invest in them today will reap rewards for Canada in the years ahead. We are investing in them. Take the Student Work Placement Program, for example. In Budget 2024, the Government of Canada proposed $207.6 million for the program to create 40,000 work-integrated learning opportunities for college and university students. 40,000. That's almost like a full Blue Jays home baseball game. That's a packed stadium of students, all gaining valuable work experience. That's the scale we're talking about. Lorsqu'ils ont l'occasion d'apprendre.
When they get to learn on the job, especially in their field of study, post-secondary students get to develop career skills. They can boost their resumes, and they can build connections that support them in landing quality jobs once they graduate. It also helps them to adapt. They develop new skills, skills that serve them well as the job market evolves. And by skills, we mean things like communication, creative thinking, and negotiation, abilities that are best developed through hands-on work experience.
Since it launched in 2017, the program has created over 300,000 opportunities for post-secondary students across Canada. These opportunities span several fields of study, and 45% of them have gone to students from underrepresented groups. Mr. Speaker, the Youth Employment and Skills Strategy, or YES, is another way we're investing in young Canadians. YES is a Government of Canada initiative that delivers 16 programs through a network of 12 federal departments, agencies, and Crown corporations. The strategy is designed to support diverse youth aged 15 to 30 to become job-ready through work experience, training, skills development, and wraparound supports that allow them to successfully transition into diverse sectors of the labour market. Employment and Social Development Canada is the lead department for YES and delivers 2 programs, the YES program and Canada Summer Jobs. In July 2024, the government announced $370 million for ESDC's YES program to support over 200 projects, most of which are now underway. And in February of this year, we announced an additional $23 million, which will fund over 35 new projects. This brings the total investments in ESDC's YES program to over $393 million for 2024-28. That means we're on track to help more than 26,000 young people overcome job barriers and secure meaningful, lasting jobs. Now, the Canada Summer Jobs is another example of how much we're investing in young Canadians. I don't have much time left to go into the details, but the CSJ support is meaningful to thousands of youth during the summer. There's no doubt we're supporting youth at every stage of their journey toward a brighter future and a stronger Canadian economy.
Member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
Mr. Speaker, very respectfully to my honourable friend, I would say this. I think we need to measure the performance of the government by the results. And the appeal of the Parliament Secretary, of ministers and others is to say, well, look at all these things we're trying to do. But I think the government will be judged by the results in aggregate. And look, here's the reality. After this government has blocked natural resource projects, denigrated the natural resource sector, made a mess of our immigration system, failed to align skills training in the main with the needs of our economy, we are now in a situation where we are approaching 500,000 unemployed young people. And despite the best efforts, I'm sure the personal sincerity of the Parliament Secretary, unemployment numbers have continued to go up. So at what point do you recognize it's just not working and we need new policies to fix this problem?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Jobs and Families.
Merci, Monsieur.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're investing in youth. We're investing in youth through the Student Work Placement Program. We're investing in youth through the Youth Employment and Skills Strategy Program. We're investing in youth through Canada Summer Jobs.
The labour market today looks very different for young people than it did for past generations. New and emerging technologies, a rise in gig work, an aging workforce, and globalization are profoundly changing the labour market and how the jobs of the future will look. Programs like the ones I just mentioned help young Canadians face those challenges. These programs are smart investments in our economy and in the next generation of leaders, because when young people get a strong start, all of Canada benefits. Thank you.